Thank you, Dr. Sanaya Nariman, my mentors and friends and colleagues, Dr. Ken Nanakan, Mr. John Samuel, Ms. Charu Mutreja, Ms. Gurit Sethi, and of course, our panel of peer mediators who have joined us today, youth speakers who spoke so well so far, and those who are participating, teachers, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, today's conference is all about self-esteem and self-confidence. And as you know, we all articulate in a language. So when we're looking at transitioning from one generation to another, we are looking at a transitioning now in the age of tomorrow. So we are moving from the age of the Anthropocene to the age of the Novacene. What is the Anthropocene? What is Novacene? Homework for you. But where we are going to now look at communicating with children who are 2 and 3 and 5, and with machines as intelligent as robots who can talk to each other and talk to you. Not just coding, it's about actual interaction with machines in more ways than you can imagine, including artificial emotional intelligence. And in the age of tomorrow, we all need to communicate with each other, and that's why English as a language is so important. There is a vocabulary for life, yes. The language of syllabus and the language of life is totally different. So you may be endowed with intelligence and intellect, with subject expertise. All kinds of intelligent conversations and communications on different phraseology of life is good enough for now. But in the future, you're going to need more than that. You need to look at the language of life. What is this language for life? Language of life. The gift of language has been used by generations, and different generational changes caused a paradigm shift in the thinking and cultural patterns, almost like memes, a virus transfer from one generation to another. So communication patterns of generations evolved over the years, only from native tongues to now a more proficient language like English, which helps us bridge barriers in very effective ways. So I want to leave you with 2 thoughts. We are moving from the Anthropocene to the Novacene. We have to address that through language, and by interacting with intergenerational changes, with different youth, with different adult systems. And we are coming into a workplace which is going to be largely dominated by the innovative revolution of artificial intelligence. So we have moved from the industrial age to the innovative age. It is critical now to articulate and express ideas with a spiritual awakening. Without that, then we are just looking at the language of the curriculum and syllabus and subject expertise in a career, which is good, but not good enough. That is why the language for life is a must in the Novacene. The importance of self-esteem and self-actualization is of paramount importance to live in today's generation. And when we are talking about bridging generational gaps today, the youth speakers are from the millennial generation. So are most of us who are audiences. So millennials are known as Generation Y and Gen Y and Gen X. Now, what is this millennial generation? Stop and think about it. They are average people from different age groups. Some are above average people, but they are a variety of traits that this generation exhibits. They value meaningful motivation. They challenge the hierarchy status quo. They place a lot of importance on relationships with superiors. They are intuitive with knowledge of technology, open and adaptive to change, rather passionate about learning. They are open and receptive to feedback and recognition. They are free thinking and creative and value social interactions in the workplace. But now that being said, that's you and me and the speakers today. But we are going to hone a next generation, which is already growing up in the Novacene. The term alpha must ring a bell with you. When it comes to A to Z, you know, the alpha and omega, you talk about generation alpha now, because we are going back in circles, back to this drawing board. It refers to a group of individuals born between 2010 and 225. This is the generation after Gen Z. So the generation alpha prefers text and not human communication. They are the most globally connected generation of children due to technology and internet. They're digital natives, technology-minded and tech-savvy. They grow up with Alexa, Siri, and mobile apps as toys during childhood. There are already 2 billion such alpha kids in the world. They will arguably be the most economically successful generation. Now, we can use language to do good, and we can use language to do evil. It is very important to understand that life is in the tongue. and the tongue has the power of life and death. And it is so important as we give and birth life into the minds and infuse passion in the minds of our youth with the right kind of words, say the right thing, we are polite, and we are astute enough to understand what to say and what not to say. That being said, we are transitioning from one era to the other, and we have to keep abreast with changing times. So thank you for your intelligence and your intellect, and really appreciate your insight. All the youth speakers spoke very well. Thank you, organizers, for organizing this excellent program. And we look forward to you learning the language of life. Thank you very much.